Let's get more on this now from political analyst Aisha Sawari, who joins me from Los Angeles. Appreciate you coming on, Aisha. So India and Pakistan, they've been trading blame in the last few days. They've been trading drone strikes, and now they seem to be trading more than that. Excuse me. It's getting to the extent of attacks on military locations now. Both sides have claimed that they are focused on not escalating things, but what we seem to be seeing exactly the opposite, an escalation. Where do you think this is heading now? Because, I mean, for example, India must know that if it attacks Pakistan military bases, it must know there's going to be a retaliatory response coming. So, I mean, where do they think this is going to?
I think that, the armies in the region have been, speaking war talk for a very long time now. They are sort of like bred for military conflict. They thrive on it. So I think that there's a historical context to the aggressiveness that we see here today, especially given the fact that there's a lot of other wars that are taking place both in Gaza and Ukraine. So the militaries sort of feel like, it's their time now. The Indian aggression on Pakistan's sovereign soil sets a really bad precedence, where the first thing Pakistan did when there was an accusation that there were terrorists in Pakistan that had created the attack in India was ask for an impartial investigation. And instead of waiting for that impartial investigation, India went ahead and violated sovereign territory in Pakistan.
Why do you think that was, Aisha? Why didn't India just take that opportunity to have an independent investigation? And if Pakistan was to blame, the world would have seen.
I think that this has a historical context. The Modi government, for most political analysts, is really a fascist Hindutva government that hasn't hidden its agenda to create an Akhand Bharat, which they feel that the Muslims in that region do not belong there. What they've done in Kashmir is systemically, ethnically cleansed Kashmiris, resettled a lot of the Hindus in Kashmir, and violated the recommendation of the United Nations for a referendum there, for letting Kashmiris decide for themselves what kind of state they want to live in. So it's been a violation after a violation. This is nothing new. After the British left in 1947, there is this colonial mentality that has continued in this very imperialist fashion to decide what other people want. And then the fact that the stockpiling of these weaponry is it only makes the situation much worse. India is the sixth largest economy that spends on military might, despite the fact that our regions are very poor.
These two countries have fought several wars in the previous decades. What would you say is the root cause of the animosity between India and Pakistan?
As a feminist, I really believe it is, at the basis of all of this is a sense of misogyny, a lack of equality, a lack of distribution of power within our own people. India is essentially a very casteist society that believes that there's a hierarchy between who is pure, closer to God, versus who's impure. The women are left behind, the untouchables are left behind. And not to say that Pakistan is particularly great at this legacy. It also has its very, disruptive systems where it discriminates against its own people. But the region itself is bred in this idea that some people have more authority and therefore have unchecked power, and they self-referentially give themselves that power. So that's a really bad recipe for disaster. It is really important for the international community to get in here, and this is a very populated region. It's already targeted with climate crisis. It already has over 100 million people that live under the poverty line. It's already very starved of water. It's time to look inwards rather than look for enemies outside.
Aisha, thank you for your time. Aisha Sawari, political analyst, my guest.
Thank you.